Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here, doing the 6-game NBA main slate here on Monday. A couple things before I get into the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also here to announce the winner to the weekly $20 PayPal giveaway. The winner is Andrew Jemmott, or Jemmott, Jemmott. Congrats on winning the giveaway. Either hit me up in the YouTube comment section or on Twitter. I can make sure to get you that $20 PayPal. But how this giveaway works is all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment though per video. So it starts with this video right here. We'll go throughout the week. We'll end up in Monday night NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, I'm going to give away that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, I'm going to give away 10 times. And again, the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. But with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So before I get into it, I just want to apologize for not uploading a video the last couple of days. I've been traveling, so back now home in Chicago. So it should be good to go for future videos, but do want to apologize for not uploading the last few days there. But let's take a look at some numbers here. So we only have two over-unders and spreads that are out right now of the 6 games. So we have Pistons and Jazz sitting at 217.5 for the Jazz here by 10. And then Suns Trailblazers is 231 with the Portland favored by 4 points. And just in general, this slate is really tricky. There's a lot of stuff up in the air. There's a lot of guys questionable. So there's a lot of news to monitor. That's why it's important to follow me on Twitter, guys. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts as we get news throughout the day. Unfortunately, I'll not be able to live stream for this slate. I'm going to have to stay later at work, but I'll do my best to keep you guys updated here on Twitter. But let's start with center today. And Karl-Anthony Towns, again, 10K. He is listed as questionable. This is pretty significant because if he misses, that's just a boost to a lot of those other Minnesota guys. The downside is Minnesota is running huge rotations, like really inconsistent rotations. We have Wiggins status up in the air too, so there's a lot of question marks here on the Minnesota side. If Cat plays at 10K, I do like him as a spend up. It's a good spot. Obviously if he's going to be limited, I couldn't go there. But if he's going to play and not be limited, I do have interest there at 10K. But he has missed like the last 6 or 7 games, so if I'm just going to guess, I'm going to say he's probably going to be out once again. But we'll see. Again, that's something we'll do have to monitor. Drummond at 9.3K, not necessarily the best spot, but if the Pistons are going to keep this game close, he's probably going to have a big game. We got Blake Griffin doubtful. We got no Markieff Morris, no Luke Kennard. Detroit is really, really thin, and there's definitely some blowout risk. But if they're going to keep this close, again, Drummond will probably have a big game. So I do like his price. Not really the best spot, but I think he is, definitely in play as a spend up. Again, there is some blowout risk, so that is a concern. John Collins, the same thing. I'm going to be talking on blowouts a lot here because there's a lot of spots where there's guys in good spots, but there's just a lot of risk, right? This is another one. Not really a great spot for John Collins, but we have no Trae Young. They're just super depleted. We saw, in 33 minutes, he had 55 fantasy points, and they still only put up 81 points. He had 34 of the 81 points for Atlanta. So, this Atlanta Hawks team is pretty bad without Trae Young. And Trae Young is once again out. So there is blowout risk here for sure. If Atlanta keeps this game close, most likely John Collins will have to have a big game. So another spend up is very much in play. It's whether or not, again, you think Atlanta keeps that game close. Rudy Gobert, I don't see myself getting to at this slate at 8K. There's some spend ups. I like some guys cheaper, so I just don't see myself getting there. Vucevic, I do like at under 8K. Same thing with John Collins. I'm going to say here. Orlando could definitely blow out Atlanta. Atlanta is just terrible without Trae Young, so there is blowout risk, but I love the price here for Vucevic. I love the matchup. So if you think this game's close, if you think this game stays close, you probably going to want to consider Vucevic. You're going to want to consider John Collins for sure. Bam Adebayo, so the same thing. Again, I'm going to be talking about it a lot. There is a lot of blowout risk in this one as well. Washington completely depleted. We got Brad Beal status up in the air. They are just like a G League team right now, so they're 100% some blowout risk. But Bam. Again, this is one of the best possible spots, so it's whether or not you think Washington keeps it close where, you would target Bam there. Whiteside at 7.1K, I really like his price. I don't really know what they're thinking dropping his price to 7.1. He had that one-off game there against Utah. I think they closed the scale of the BCA, but other than that, he's been playing really consistent minutes, over 30, like every single game. He's like a double-double. He's got to get you blocks, steals, And I don't understand what DraftKings is doing with this price. So love Whiteside, and that's kind of why I don't see myself getting to a guy like Rudy Gobert. There's just like Vucevic at his price, like Bam Adebayo, Whiteside. There's a lot of good center plays, even Drummond. Even if Detroit keeps that game close. Gorgie Jang, I don't know if I could do it even if Cat is out. The prices coming up in the Mets have been a little bit up and down. He only played 23 in that game against Cleveland. The game before that would play 41. So they're all over the place. I think you could look there for GPPs if Cat is out, but probably still not for me. Now, Lauri Markkanen's status is up in the air due to an illness. He was sent home. If he misses, we could look at a guy like Thad Young or maybe even Daniel Gafford. We'll see who Chicago ends up starting in his place if Lauri Markkanen does get rolled out. Jarrett Allen, I don't see myself getting there. Brook Lopez at 5.9. I think I would consider if Giannis is out. If Giannis plays, probably not for me. His price is coming up a decent amount there. Let's see. Again, Blake Griffin, doubtful. We have no Markieff Morris. Detroit is just super, super thin. We'll talk about some other Detroit guys here in a sec. Ersan at 5.6. So if Giannis is out once again, I think we can consider Ersan. He's been amazing the last couple games. 24 minutes, 42 fantasy points. 27 minutes, 47 fantasy points. But if Giannis plays, honestly, you obviously can't go there. If he misses, I still wouldn't mind going back to the ball there, even at elevated price points. So that's something, again, we have to monitor with Giannis' status going into tomorrow. Aaron Baines at 4.9K, I think it's just okay. I don't think he has huge upside, but I don't think he'll kill you at that price. Mahimi at 4.4, I don't see myself getting there. I just don't think he has enough upside. I think he's okay, but probably not for me. Again, we have no Markieff Morris. Let's see. Alex Len is, I believe, or he's expected to play. You can look there for GPPs. The Mets have been a bit up and down, but he is a guy that can get you there in limited time. So I think you could go there for GPPs. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it for cash games. Other options, so Christian Wood here at 3.8K is someone I do have a decent amount of interest in. Now, the concern is they don't use him alongside Drummond a whole lot, but Detroit is just super, super thin up front with no Blake Griffin, with no Markieff Morris. They don't have a whole lot of options. And if this game blows out, that's just better for Christian Wood. He'll get all the blowout runs. So he's someone I'm definitely monitoring. We know he does have upside when he gets minutes, so I am very much considering him there at 3.8K. Other options, so Noah Vonleh, just thought I'd bring it up. He did get 24 minutes that last game against Cleveland, had 29 fantasy points. I think he's someone you could give a look to as a value guy if Karl-Anthony Towns is out once again. If Cat plays, I would have no interest though. And then I think that is basically it. So let's move on to power forward here. And Giannis. So he's once again questionable. I believe he's missed the last couple of games here. If he misses, again, Ersan and Middleton are the two guys that I'm probably the most interested in, but I'll talk about some other value guys as well. And now if Giannis plays, I think you got to have interest in this price at 11.2K. The concern is anytime Milwaukee plays, there's always a blowout risk. So just take that into consideration if he does play. But I think he would be a really solid spend up. If he's not going to be limited there at that price. Kelly Oubre at 6.7K, don't mind him. He's a guy that seems to always be up and down. Even the minutes, like in close games, sometimes he just won't get the minutes. But in 3 of the last 4 games, he has had 38, 38, and 41 minutes. And this is a game where probably my favorite game 2 game stack, just because I think it should stay close. It's at a 4-point spread with a 231 over under. So I do have some interest there in Oubre at 6.7K. Jonathan Isaac at 6.5K, really good spot here. He's also been a bit up and down, but Aaron Gordon his status is up in the air. Again, I'm talking about that with a lot of guys in the slate. There's a lot of guys questionable. If Aaron Gordon misses, that would give a boost to Jonathan Isaac, even Vucevic. So Jonathan Isaac would be someone I think I would look to if Aaron Gordon misses. But again, there is some blowout risk here just because Atlanta without Trae Young they just looked dreadful in the last game. Other options, so Robert Covington here at 5.9K has played 40 and 35 minutes the last couple games. I think he's someone we could look to if both Cat and Wiggins are out once again. The minutes had been a little bit up and down, but the last 2, it's good to see that he was playing again 40 and 35. So he's someone I would look to if both those guys are out once again. So that's something again we'll have to look into more in tomorrow. Aaron Gordon questionable. So again, if he misses, that's a usage boost to Vucevic. That's a usage boost to Jonathan Isaac. And then we would see who Orlando could start in his place. Let's see. Prince, probably not for me at that price. Carmelo, I actually don't mind this price at all. 5.3K. He's had 3 straight, mediocre games, but we know the upside is there, and the price is coming down pretty significantly. So I think Carmelo's a guy that I do like his price. I think he's a guy that won't kill you because he's going to play the big minutes, and he does have 40, 45 hands point upside at his price. So I do like Melo a decent amount there at that price. These other Atlanta guys, so some of these guys are going to have to step up. DeAndre Hunter did not the last game. 30 minutes, 13 fancy points. It's tough. It's tough to target these Atlanta guys, but if they're going to stay in this game, someone else is going to have to do some scoring besides John Collins. Let's see. Sarge's minutes been down. I don't think I can go there. Derrick Jones Jr. don't mind a 4.4. The minutes have been pretty consistent for him. But am I going to get there myself? Probably not. Other options, yeah. So Thad Young, a 4.1K. Like if he ends up starting over, for an injured, if Lauren Markin doesn't miss, he would become a pretty solid value play in my opinion. Myers Leonard, he's just a guy I can never get right. The first game of the season I played him, and he had like over 20 minutes and like 5 fancy points. And one game in the live stream, I was like, oh yeah, like Myers Leonard, he's been getting consistent minutes. I think you can look to him as like a value play. And he had 19 minutes, 2 fancy points. So he's just someone I can never get right. At his price, you can look there, but I'm just gonna continue to not talk about him or not even try to play him. But that is really it. So let's move on to small forward here. And Chris Middleton, 8.1. So I would not pay the salary if Giannis plays. But if Giannis misses, I think it's Middleton or Ersan I have the most interest here on the Milwaukee side. Those two have been the most consistent when Giannis has been out. Those two have had the most upside. So those would be the two guys that I have the most interest in if Giannis is out once again. Again, if Giannis plays, I would not consider Middleton. I would not consider Ersan. Now, Jimmy Butler in the same boat here as Bam. Love his price. Love his matchup. It's just whether or not you think this game stays close. There is, again, a lot of blowout risk here. Washington, possibly no Brad Beal. They're like a G League team. But if Washington can keep this game close, man, I think Jimmy and Bam could both have smash games. So I do like these guys a lot. Again, the one thing you have to consider with both those Miami guys is the potential for a blowout. Wiggins' status is up in the air. He is listed as questionable. Again, with him and Karl-Anthony Towns missing the last couple games, Robert Covington has played pretty consistent minutes. So that's something we'll have to monitor. If Cat misses and Wiggins plays, I'll have some interest there in Wiggins. But hopefully we'll get clarity on his status, going into tomorrow. Let's see. Other options. Joe Ingles just seems like really consistent at his price. I don't think he's going to kill you. I think he's a really solid cash game play. He's a guy that's been playing the big minutes. He fills up the stat sheet. So if absolutely no issue there with Joe Ingles, if you want to get there, again, there is some blowout risk in this one as well because Detroit pretty thin. No Blake Griffin, no Luke Kennard. A couple other guys are missing as well. Santa Rance hit 6.1K. Don't mind him either. 34, 38, 33, and 30 minutes the last couple games. He's also been really consistent with about 35 fancy points during the last 4 games. So if you get to him, it's fine. Again, I personally probably won't get there. Fournier at 6K, you could look to him. If Aaron Gordon misses, again, there's more usage around. But I think my preferred targets there would be Vucevic, would be Jonathan Isaac. So yeah, Washington's still super, super thin. No Bertans, no Rui. Everyone's basically still out on the Washington side. Troy Brown at 5.8K did start, played 38 minutes. Now had a bad shooting night, 4 of 18, but still put up 28 fancy points. So he's someone that you could look to. If Brad Beal's out and you're going to target some of those Miami guys, right? If you're going to target Bam, if you target Jimmy, you're probably going to want to run it back with one of these Washington guys. Because if you're playing both those Miami guys, you're banking on the fact that the game stays close. And if it does stay close, Troy Brown or one of these other guys are probably going to have to have a big game. So, that's just a lineup construction thing, a roster construction. If I was, playing a lot of those Miami guys, I'd probably want to run it back with, maybe one or two of those Washington guys. Again, Luke Kennard once again out. Detroit super, super thin as well. DiVincenzo at 5.1K is okay. I just don't know if he has the huge upside. Again, I would much prefer paying a little bit more for Ersan and a lot more for Middleton if Giannis is out once again. Chris Dunn at 5K. Perfectly fine. right? He's going to get it probably about 30 to 35 minutes. I think he's not a guy that's going to kill you at that price. Am I going to get that personally? Probably not. Let's see. Bruce Brown at 4.7 in a tougher spot. I mean, he probably will play about 30 or so minutes. He's okay. I think he's an okay value play. Again, tough spot, but someone else besides Drummond's probably going to have a big game. Cam Reddish, kind of the same thing. I'll say about those other Atlanta guys. They were really, really bad that last game. It was basically just John Collins, and that was it. But some of these guys are going to have to step up Atlanta and keep it close. So you can look to them. Cam Reddish, at least. Am I going to play him? I don't think so. He's just a really bad basketball player. If you watch the games in real life, he's not a good basketball player at all. Other options, let's see. Bembry at 3.7K. The minutes went up a little bit. No trend, got 22 minutes. He's another one of those guys you kind of throw into the mix of those Atlanta wings, like taking shots on, but just not going to feel great about it. I think that is really it, though. So let's move on to shooting guard. Beal, his status up in the air, like I say for a lot of these guys. So if Beal is good to go for this game, I do have interest in him himself. If he misses, we can look to some of those value guys. I'll talk about some other Washington value guys here in a sec. But yeah, again, his stats will be able to monitor that going into tomorrow. Obviously, if he does play, I think Washington has a better chance of keeping it close. Donovan Mitchell at 8.4K. He's had two really solid games, back-to-back games. His price is coming up a little bit. I think he's okay. Probably not going to get there, though. Let's see. Other options, Levine, probably not for me at 8.3. Again, I really like those Miami guys with Bam and Jimmy. It's just whether or not you think Washington keeps that game close. Dinwiddie, I have some interest in here at under 8K, 7.7K. He's their go-to guy. We know he's going to get about 35 or so minutes in a close game. We still have no Kyrie. This is an up-tempo game, so I do have interest there in Dinwiddie at that price. I also like Devin Booker at 7.5K. So he's had back-to-back really solid games, 44 and 54 fantasy points. This game should be played at a fast pace. It's a high over-under, 231, and his price is actually came down a little bit. So I do like Devin Booker there at a price of under 8K, 7.5K. CJ McCollum at 6.6K is a guy I think is pretty safe. We know he's going to play the big minutes. We know he, probably gets you on a floor of like 25 fantasy points with upside to like 40 or 50 if he has a good night. So I think CJ is a pretty safe option there at that price. Derrick Rose at 6.3K, we can give a look to him. Detroit is super, super thin. Again, someone's going to have to step up besides Drummond if Detroit's going to want to keep this game close. D Rose could be that guy, but his price it's not a discount. So I don't mind him. I think he's a riskier option, but for sure in play for GPPs. Now, Gary Payton is one of those guys we can look to if Brad Beal's out. He's played 34, 31, and 30 minutes the last three games. He's been pretty consistent, scoring the ball, getting some peripheral stats. So he's someone I would, consider if Beal does miss. Kevin Huerter was a guy a lot of people thought would step up with no Trae Young. He had a really bad game, only 11 fantasy points. His price at 6K too. I just can't do it. Other options, let's see, Kendrick Nunn. So like him, Hero, with Dragic back, that just kind of caps their upside minutes-wise, so I don't think I see myself getting to him. George Hill at 4.8K. I like targeting him with no Giannis, but now his price is coming up to the point where I don't think he's like a great value play anymore. So again, if Giannis is out, my priorities would be Ersan as well as Chris Middleton. Now Shabazz Napier, 4.7K. He's been starting. He's been a value guy that people have been plugging in because he was close to min price. Again, now he's not. Now he's 4.7K. He shot the ball really bad there against Cleveland, 3 of 17. If both Cat and Wiggins are out once again, you can look to him, but the rotations from Minnesota are just so inconsistent. It's hard to trust those secondary pieces. Jordan McRae, so 4.6K, his minutes have been slowly creeping up. If Beal's out once again, he's a guy that, is going to be one of the main pieces there in the offense. And again, if you're going to target a lot of those Miami guys, you're probably going to want to run it back with a couple of these Washington guys. Troy Brown, maybe Jordan McRae, Gary Payton. Those are all guys that will, a couple of guys can probably have to have a big game if Washington does keep this game close. Jordan Clarkson at 4.1K. So after the trade, he's played 21 and 25 minutes. He's a guy that they're going to use as a scoring piece off the bench. I don't mind him at this price. I think he gets 20 to 25 minutes, so he's perfectly fine there as a value option. Svi Mikhailuk at 4K. The minutes have been a little bit down on him, and he's just such a low usage guy. I probably couldn't get there myself. Jarrett Culver, the minutes aren't high enough for him, but Minnesota is just such a hard team to figure out. Their rotations are so inconsistent. Like a Koji, 3.5K. Again, everyone's getting about 20, 25 minutes. No one gets huge minutes besides Covington has actually gotten big minutes the last couple games. So everyone else, the minutes are all over the place. It's really just hard to break down. That's it for shooting guard. So let's move on to point guard. Still no Trae Young. Still no Kyrie. Lillard 8.5K. I like that price a lot on him. I think he's about $1,000 too cheap, and this is a good matchup. So this is definitely my favorite game to game stack. I have the most confidence in this game staying close. I think a lot of guys are priced. Whiteside, Lillard. On the Phoenix side, I think Booker's underpriced. I'll talk about Rubio. Even Kelly Oubre is okay. So there's a lot of guys I do like in this game. I think a lot of guys are underpriced, and again, I think this game does have a good shot of staying close. So I do like Lillard a lot there at his price at 8.5K. Again, I talked about liking Booker. I like Rubio as well at 7.2K. Did have that one off game there against Golden State, 30 minutes, only 20 fantasy points. But other than that, he's been pretty consistent. He's a guy that at 7.2K can get us 40, even 50 fantasy points on a good night. This is, this game should be played at a fast pace. Lillard, CJ defense, not too worried about that. So I do have interest in Rubio. I do have interest in Booker. Both a little bit too cheap in my opinion. Same with CJ. Again, a lot of the guys in this game are underpriced. Other options, Bledsoe. He's probable. So, with him being back in the mix, if Giannis is out, I would have interest in Bledsoe, but we've got to see if he's going to be on a minutes limit. They haven't said, or at least I don't see in the description of him being on a minutes limit. Now, he has been out since December 13th. So, another, piece of news that we'll have to monitor going to tomorrow. If he's going to play and not be limited, I would have a lot of interest in him. And this is if Giannis is out. So if Giannis is out, it's Middleton, Ersan, and Bledsoe that I have the most interest in. And I would definitely look to Bledsoe if he's not going to be on a minutes limit. If he is going to be on a minutes limit, it's probably just a stay away from me. So, there's a lot of stuff we have to keep an eye on for injury news wise. Jeff Teague, 5.5K, 37-27 minutes in back-to-back games. He'd be someone I could look to if both Cat and Wiggins are out once again, just because they would be super thin. But again, they do have a lot of guys that use it. I think they're in a 10 or 11 man rotation still with all those guys out. But I think it would be Covington. I'd have the most confidence for minutes wise, and then followed by Teague if both Cat and Wiggins are out. Isaiah Thomas at 5.4K. I think he's fine. The issue with him is I just don't see him playing the huge minutes because they have Ish Smith, and they won't really run him and Ish Smith and Isaiah Thomas out there together a lot. So that's why I think the minutes are somewhat capped for him. They're at 5.4K. Dragic at 5.2. He'd probably be my favorite secondary piece there in Miami. Are you talking about liking Jimmy and Bam a lot? And I do like Goran Dragic as well. I think he gets 25 to 30 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more. And his price right now, he is a little bit too cheap. So Jimmy and Bam at the top there, but I do like Goran Dragic there at 5.2K. Let's see, other options. McLaughlin, there's just so many there's so many guys that use in that rotation for Minnesota. It's just hard to break down. You can take shots in those guys, but no one I feel confident in. Tim Frazier at 3.6K has been getting decent run. 23, 27, 22. The downside with him is they don't use him and Derrick Rose out there a lot. I think Derrick Rose may extend a little bit more in this game because Detroit is just so shorthanded. So that's why I think the minutes are somewhat capped on Tim Frazier. But that is really it. So again, guys, a brief overview of the slate. There is a lot of question marks still up in there. There's a lot of guys questionable, so that's why it's very, very important to follow me on Twitter. I will give my thoughts as we get this news going throughout the day. As far as games and game stacks, which games I like targeting the most, right now it's Phoenix Portland. I think a lot of guys are underpriced, so that's definitely my favorite game to game stack. And then there's this Miami Washington game I do have a lot of interest in. There is again some blowout risks there. Same with Atlanta and Orlando, right? There's some appealing pieces there, but there's definitely some blowout risk with no Trae Young. And then same thing for Milwaukee, Chicago, as well as Detroit, Utah. So there's 4 games realistically that have a good shot of blowing out on this slate. Even Brooklyn, Minnesota. Minnesota be super thin. It's just a kind of a headache of a slate, a really tricky slate. And you got to hope if you're targeting guys that the game stays close for sure. But I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you have enjoyed the content, would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe. Again, if you want to get entered in the giveaway, I'll just a like and a comment in the video. It's 1 inch in the giveaway. I'll be back for another video to break down the Tuesday NBA slate. So thanks again for having to come on to check out the video, and I will see you guys later.